Okay, before I put up to this week's predictions, I want to talk about Blanchfield-Fiorot. Um, I read the YouTube comments and everybody's pretty unanimous about it. I think the commentary was totally unjust. I mean, the commentary was right on with what the judges' scorecards. All three judges scored at 50-45. I'll be honest, I scored at 48-47 for Blanchfield. You could have scored it at 48-47 for Fiorot. Um, the only round that was in question was round one. I mean, Fiorot took her down, and then Blanchfield got the guillotine, couldn't finish it. I think they're talking about now how maybe Fiorot tapped out, and that may have happened. But throwing that away, I just want to talk about the scoring. Um, Definitely, the first round could have gone either way, um, but Blanchfield, who's not a striker. She's learned to be a decent striker. She dealt with Jessica Andrade okay. Um, I'll be honest, people. Mana Furia was backing up the whole fight. She did not look comfortable. I don't know if it was the weight issues or she was worried about getting taken down. I didn't think that was the issue because she took Blanchfield down to start in the first round. Um, Manafiro has that right hook that she throws quite a bit, kind of like a jab in a way, but it's a right hook, and she does that, and it's very effective against most fighters. It didn't slow down Blanchfield. Blanchfield's not the greatest striker, but she's come a long way, and she had Firo thinking about it the whole fight. Second round was no doubt about it. It was Blanchfield. Blanchfield was the aggressor. Firo looked rattled. And this is something that I don't know people cut up on. Firo looked like she was going to quit after round two. I had it round 2-0 for Blanchfield going into the third round. You could make it 1-1. Firo looked so discouraged. And when she got up, she looked like she didn't even want to be there. I don't know if she was sick or what. Third round was the same thing. She came out, she looked rattled, and she was getting backed up. But somehow she seemed to get focused and take that round. Definitely, I gave Firo that round. Fourth round was pretty even, and then Blanchfield came on. I think it was towards the 2/3 mark of that round and connected. Yeah, Firo caught the harder shots. There's no doubt about it. She got the harder shots. But Blanchfield has a good chin, and I think that the judges. Well, let me just finish this. The fourth round was Blanchfield's. So I had it 3-1 going into the last round, and Firo definitely won the last round. But they were all close rounds. The only round that was in question, I think, was round one. So if you want to give Firo the fight, that's fine. But I was stunned. I mean, if it was in France, I could see all five judges maybe giving it to Firo, but it was in New Jersey, and the crowd was booing, and the judges. I think the judges were biased because they know that the striker's Firo, and they know that Blanchfield is predominantly. Nobody imagined Blanchfield. They figured. I guess people thought that if Blanchfield was going to strike and do well, it was just till she can take her down. But she never even attempted a takedown until like the last 30 seconds of the fight. I think Blanchfield was in control of the whole fight. Yeah, I do. I think her striking was good enough, and nobody saw it because I think people were thinking that she couldn't do it, and she did. I look at the expression. Go back and watch it. Firo looked like she was almost in pain the whole fight. She looked like she was offset. She looked like her right hook wasn't stopping Blanchfield like it usually does to other people. I mean, she had some footwork, no doubt about it, but what connected from Firo other than those right hooks? And by the time she connected on Blanchfield, she was getting pushed back and kicks too. I'm not saying Firo didn't get her share of kicks in there as well, but I don't know. You'd have to look at the punch count, but I mean, as far as ring generalship and control and aggression, I don't know how you can score that fight one sided like it was. I mean, I actually was rooting for Firo to do really good, considering she was far from home, and the way the fight started, I thought she was down 2-0. I thought it, maybe 1-1, but by the time the judges started making it out like Blanchfield was limited and couldn't get to her, I lost interest in rooting for Firo because, and then the end of the fight. Fira was discouraged the whole fight. Nobody can tell me what I saw didn't happen. She was totally discouraged. This is not the same man in Firo that dominates people. She didn't look that good against Rose either, but she did look better than this one. But at the end of the fight, she suddenly had all this this confidence that she had done enough to win, and was doing that belt strap around her waist. I don't know. I've lost a lot of respect for her because I think that, I think it shows courage and admiration to come to America and fight in Blanchfield's hometown, but she didn't do enough to really win the fight, or not convincingly. And I don't know how a fighter can backpedal the whole fight. Kind of like Corey Sandhagen against T.J. Dillashaw. How can you give the fight to the guy that's backpedaling? Blanchfield-Fiorot needed to stop Blanchfield in her tracks. I mean, stop her from coming in. She couldn't do that. And that's why she was rattled. She was totally rattled. Go look at the expression. Blanchfield-Fiorot is one of the top 3 in that division. She doesn't fight rattled. She doesn't. She wasn't her efficient self against Rose, for sure. But she was a lot better than that. She was rattled, and it wasn't because she was fighting in Blanchfield's hometown. It was because she couldn't stop Blanchfield. Blanchfield is not a striker, and she was out striking her. She was definitely out striking her on that. But if you count the aggression, I don't know what the punch count was, but man, she was backing her up the whole fight. I'm aghast. I'll be honest. I'm aghast. I think if you want to give Fiorot the fight, that's awesome if you can give her 3 rounds. But to give her 5 rounds, like Blanchfield doesn't know what she's doing. I think Blanchfield's come a long way, and it's definitely going to hurt her because now she's. I think it was early in the second round when or the end of the first round, Fiorot started to connect on Blanchfield, and I thought Blanchfield was going to try to take her down. She didn't. She decided to beat Fiorot at Fiorot's game, and she believed she was good enough, and I thought she did. I thought she came on, and she just kept stepping it up and kept matching her. I think the corner was kind of confused as far as whether they were ahead or not, and I think they just kind of fell into that. I think they probably heard the commentary. The commentary is horrible. I'm sorry. If I was watching it on a pirated video, I'd be okay. Maybe I'm not seeing it clear, but I saw it from UFC streamies. I saw the whole thing, and there's no way. I mean, if you listen to the commentary and you don't know what the hell you're watching, yeah, you're gonna think that Blanchfield's getting bageled. But man, I watched boxing all my life, and yeah, UFC's hard to score sometimes, but I can't imagine. I wasn't shocked that they gave it to Fiorot. I was shocked that they didn't give Blanchfield 1 round, and I think she definitely deserved round 2 and 4. You'd have to go look at the punch count, but I don't know how she got. I'm disappointed in Fiorot. She didn't do anything but backpedal. Her best weapon. She said going in that she had more tools than Blanchfield, and I doubted that. And now looking at it, she might have more tools. But the only tool that she used, other than that first round takedown, and then I think when Blanchfield got her down in like the 3rd round or something, she got out of it and got on top real quick, and then they stood up. But the only tool that Fiorot used was that right hook. Very limited in that whole fight, and just backpedaling. I totally shocked. I just so disappointed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying she can't beat Shevchenko or Grasso or Macy Barber, but I think Blanchfield might be the best out of all those people. I think Blanchfield thought she can go and trade with her, and she probably didn't realize that the scoring was going to be that way. I mean, I think a lot of people are like, well, why did she keep trying? Why did she keep trying to do the same thing when she was not succeeding? Well, I have a different take. I think she was succeeding, In fact, I think I might have favored Fiorot because I couldn't understand why my scorecard was one way and everybody else's was the other. The commentary anyways at that point. And I think I might have been biased towards, okay, maybe I'm not seeing it right. And so maybe by the time 3rd round rolled around, I started to see Fiorot winning when I don't know if she really was. But anyways, I gave her round 3 and I gave her round 5. And if you want to give her round 1, that's that. But that scoring was bad. I know nobody's going to agree with me. I've never read anybody commenting on how good Blanchfield did, but I think it could have gone either way. That's my opinion.